Lena Hoffman was only 22 years old when she decided that her life in Dusseldorf no longer held any future for her. Recently graduated in business administration, unemployed for 8 months, and still living with her parents, Klaus and Petra Hoffman, she felt trapped in a suffocating routine with no visible escape. Within the family, Lena had always been known as the dreamer. Unlike her older brother Marcus, who followed his father into steady factory work, Lena wanted something bigger, something that made her feel alive. Her eyes lit up whenever she spoke about traveling the world, discovering new cultures, and making a difference. Her father often tried to ground her dreams in reality. "The world isn't what you imagine," Klaus would say during dinner. "Here you have security. Why take unnecessary risks?" Petra, more empathetic but equally concerned, urged her daughter to first find work locally and save money. But Lena couldn't accept the idea of an ordinary life. She spent countless hours online, scrolling through travel blogs and photos of distant countries. Thailand, with its beaches, culture, and promise of a fresh start, captivated her completely. On a rainy Tuesday in March 2023, Lena's destiny changed forever. While browsing a Facebook group called Germans in Thailand, she noticed a post that made her heart race. It advertised a unique opportunity. An established German company in Bangkok, seeking a young administrator for a management position at a luxury resort. The offer included a guaranteed work visa, accommodation, a starting salary of $3,000 per month, and rapid career growth. The post was written by Marco Schneider, a 45-year-old German who claimed to have lived in Thailand for over a decade. His profile showed polished photos, beaches, elegant restaurants, city views, and glowing recommendations from other Germans in the group. Encouraged, Lena sent her CV and a hopeful message. Just 2 hours later, Marco replied, praising her qualifications and suggesting a video call. The call lasted more than 2 hours. Marco appeared confident and professional, seated in a modern office with Bangkok's skyline behind him. He spoke eloquently about the luxury resort, international clients, and Lena's future role. He complimented her maturity, told her she was special, and offered to arrange her work visa immediately, requesting only an €800 administrative fee to speed up the process. Though hesitant, Lena convinced herself it was an investment in her future. Her parents were skeptical, but Marco had already prepared her for their concerns, framing their doubts as fear of ambition. Documents soon followed: contracts, company papers, official-looking stamps, all expertly forged. Daily messages reinforced her trust, subtly isolating her from her family and positioning Marco as her sole guide. On May 18, 2023, Lena boarded a Lufthansa flight from Frankfurt to Bangkok. Her family watched her leave with mixed emotions: pride, fear, and unspoken dread. After 11 hours in the air, Lena arrived at Suvarnabhumi Airport, where she was met by a man named Chai, holding a sign with her name. He led her to an unmarked white van parked away from official taxis. Every instinct told her something was wrong, but Marco's reassurances echoed in her mind. She got inside. That decision sealed her fate. The van drove farther and farther from the city until urban streets disappeared into rural isolation. When Lena demanded answers, Chai dropped his friendly act, revealing fluent English and cold intent. Her phone had no signal. The doors were locked. Nearly an hour later, the van stopped outside a fortified concrete building surrounded by barbed wire. Inside, the air smelled of mold and despair. Metal doors lined the corridors. Women cried behind them. And then Lena saw Marco, or rather Thomas Braun, his real name, older, heavier, and devoid of warmth. He welcomed her not to a job, but to captivity. He explained calmly that she was valuable merchandise, destined for exploitation in a human trafficking operation. Lena was shown the facility: locked rooms, surveillance cameras, women broken into submission. Germans, Europeans, Asians. Some filmed for content, others sold to clients. Resistance, Thomas explained, only led to punishment. Escape was impossible. Police were paid off. Families were kept calm with fake messages sent from the victims' phones. Lena was locked in room 15, monitored, isolated, and drugged. Through coded taps on the wall, another captive, Sabrina, warned her of poisoned food and confirmed the truth. This was a system designed to erase women without anyone noticing. Back in Germany, Petra sensed something was wrong. The messages from Lena felt unnatural. Phone calls went unanswered. When Petra contacted Marco directly, his explanation sounded rehearsed. She began posting in online groups uncovering similar disappearances. Eventually, German authorities recognized a pattern. Interpol was alerted. After days in a basement cell, Lena heard shouting, gunfire, and doors breaking down. On May 27, 2023, an international raid stormed the compound. Thomas Braun was captured attempting to flee. 17 women were rescued. Others had already been moved. Lena collapsed when German police told her she was safe. Thomas was extradited to Germany and sentenced to 15 years in prison for human trafficking, kidnapping, and organized crime. But investigators revealed he was only one piece of a much larger global network. Lena returned home months later, physically healed but psychologically scarred. She developed panic disorder, nightmares, and deep distrust. Petra became an activist, warning young people about suspicious job offers abroad. Lena testified in court, her voice shaking as she described how her dreams were weaponized against her. Her story ended with survival, but not closure. Somewhere, new victims were still receiving messages from men like Marco, offering paradise and opportunity, and some were still saying yes. The investigation continues, the network continues, the story is not over,